And in other news, former Justice Minister Senior Counsel Martha Karua has been deported after she was denied entry to Uganda at the Entebbe International Airport. Martha Karua, who travelled alongside the president of the Law Society of Kenya, Charles Kanjama, to attend a bail application ruling involving Erias Lukwago, was denied entry even after Kanjama was allowed into Uganda.
You're watching Mordecai Marissa Live Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if there was ever any doubt that the case against Dr. Kizza Besigye is political or was political from the beginning, the events unfolding before our eyes should be enough to settle that doubt, to quash it completely. And I will explain why. Former Lord Mayor of Kampala, Erias Lukwago, who serves as Besigye's lead counsel, has once again been remanded and ordered to return to court on 30th June 2026. That's a very interesting date, and I'll tell you why. It is the same day Besigye is expected to appear before courts. Coincidence? Like the magistrate court didn't know about this? You're kidding me. But even more astonishing, the court postponed its ruling on Lukwago's bail application. It cited circumstances around the courtroom and the complexity of issues raised, and it promised that instead it will deliver the decision by email. So we wait. But I want to tell you this. I won't be surprised if they come up with any reason to deny this bail application. Like they've always, this is what they've been doing. They come up with funny reasons. Oh, for reasons ABC, we won't be able to do it. But just when one thought that things could not get more absurd, another dramatic development emerged. I want to believe that many of you have already watched or seen what has been posted on social media. Senior Counsel Martha Karua, one of East Africa's most distinguished lawyers and a key member of Besigye's legal team, was detained at Entebbe International Airport and denied entry into Uganda and deported. I think I need to show you this story. Probably you've not seen it. This is Kenya's Citizen TV reporting what went down. Watch here.
And in other news, former Justice Minister Senior Counsel Martha Karua has been deported after she was denied entry to Uganda at the Entebbe International Airport. Martha Karua, who travelled alongside the president of the Law Society of Kenya, Charles Kanjama, to attend a bail application ruling involving Erias Lukwago, was denied entry even after Kanjama was allowed into Uganda. Karua leads the defense team for Ugandan opposition leader Kizza Besigye, who was abducted in Nairobi on November 16, 2024 during...
Did you hear that? Who was abducted from Nairobi? What happened to due process? Like, the news anchor has pretty much normalized this. Not that I'm blaming him. He has nothing to do or had nothing to do with the abduction of Kizza Besigye. But how did we get to this point as East Africans where we normalize the abnormalities? You enter into a foreign country, abduct your citizen or citizen of your country, and there's no explanation from the Kenya authority. Come on.
Her book launch and co-accused Obeid Lutale in a treason case. The Law Society of Kenya has expressed concern over her detention and called on Ugandan authorities to explain the denial of entry and ensure that their actions comply with the Constitution of Uganda, the East African Community Treaty, and principles of justice and due process.
The authorities in Uganda to explain about due process? I hate to be the bearer of the bad news. These are the same folks that abducted the former Lord Mayor of the capital city, Kampala. The person who delegates these jackbooted thugs to go out and abduct people was gloating about the same on social media. This is Muhoozi Kainerugaba, Museveni's Napo baby and commander of the Uganda Defense Forces, Says, I've abducted, now I'm starting to torture him. Do you think this man has any understanding? Does his brain cells allow him to understand what due process means? He doesn't care. Let that sink in. Lukwago is in jail, is in prison. And then Martha Karua is deported. So, as Besigye, the client, is, remains entangled in these politically motivated charges, the biggest question now we should ask all of ourselves is, at what point does this, stop looking like justice and it start looking like a coordinated effort to cripple a legal defense team? This is what they're doing. They're crippling Dr. Besigye's team. They do not have a case. If they did, they would just table the evidence and let the justice system take its course. But they don't have any. So now they're resorting to the tactics of the old dictators: intimidate, coerce, dominate. So this is not a surprise at all, especially if you're a Ugandan. I'm going to go on and show you the lawyer of Erias Lukwago, Entebbe International, telling us what went down in the court. Listen here.
Her Worship the Magistrate, the Chief Magistrate, has advised that her ruling is not ready. Owing to the sensitivity of the case and all the environment as you see it, she was informed that it is not advisable to come back to court to convey the news that the ruling is not ready. She did not want to gather, especially when the ruling is not ready. So she undertook to deliver the ruling by ICMIS within 24 hours. The time we were meeting her in chambers, both sides, she invited us to understand, one, the situation, and two, the so many words that we have used in these proceedings. So she requested us to go and glue ourselves to the computers as we wait for the ruling. This case, the main case, will be mentioned again on 30th June. So even when we do not come back here tomorrow, we will be back on 30th June. That is the information I have a duty to convey. It's not pleasant news to us either. We have only remained brave because we are duty bound to be brave.
All right, that's Entebbe International, lawyer for incarcerated former Lord Mayor of Kampala, Erias Lukwago. Now, again, I know many of you might be wondering, hey, Mordecai, what reason did these folks give on denying Martha Karua entry to Uganda? I'll go on and show you here. Well, I'm quite certain many of you won't be surprised because this is pretty much what has been normalized in Uganda, denying a citizen of another country. Let me try to put in perspective what Uganda has become. You had two folks from Kenya who were abducted on the orders of probably Museveni or Muhoozi. And all security agencies in Uganda said, no, we don't have them. And I'm referring to Nicholas Oyue and Bob Njaji, Kenyan activists who were abducted in Uganda. So the military says we don't have them. The police says we don't have them. Everyone denies. And after a few weeks, a few months, Museveni comes and says, you know what? We've been holding them, keeping them in a fridge. That's the term he used. He was referring to a torture dungeon. That should break your heart. But what should break your heart even more is the fact that while these people were being held in Uganda illegally, The Kenyan government didn't say a word. They didn't try to pressure Uganda to produce these people, dead or alive. No. This is how cancerous the Museveni virus is. As a result of his overstaying power, he has influence in other countries. And you can tell how he's impacted all these other countries. Remember, he ascended to power through fighting the government over Obote and Tito Okello, respectively. Who was he fighting with? He was with Kagame, who is now president of Rwanda, who considers himself to be the only most sophisticated, distinguished, smart man who knows the future of Rwanda. He cannot imagine himself stepping aside and having another person take over. Impossible. Then when you go to the Democratic Republic of Congo, you know how Museveni is entangled in the mess in that country. Look at what's going on in South Sudan. Now, Tanzania, which was becoming some sort of a safe haven for all of us, is now being led by Samia Suluhu, who is emboldened by the lawlessness and impunity of Museveni. Then you go to Burundi. You want to tell me that probably the president of Burundi worships Museveni. You have one octogenarian, Museveni, completely influencing all these countries in a very toxic way. Let me go back to what I wanted to show you, the reason they gave. Why are you denying entry to one of our own, Martha Karua? These are people who usually sing the East African, what is it called? The East African community. We are brothers and stuff like that. Okay, here's the thing. Watch. This is the reason they are giving. See, Martha, notice to return or convey prohibited immigrant, Martha Karua Wangari. And then here, if you want to read here, reasons for denying entry, persona non grata. Take a moment and think about that. Declared persona non grata. She's an unwelcome person, an unacceptable person in Uganda. You cannot just allow her to come in. What's the reason? They won't explain. These are Museveni's orders in Mhozi. Frustrate Besigye, break his spirit, put him to a point where he kneels and begs for mercy from Museveni. Now, you might accuse me of ranking Besigye in a certain group of special kind of human beings. Absolutely. I don't think you're going to break him. No. 70 years old? I don't think. So stick around as we wait for the magistrate to give us the ruling on a bail application of Erias Lukwago by mail. They told us 24 hours. Let's wait and see what they will say. I won't be surprised if they don't say anything. All right. That's it for now, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to give you that update. I'll be back here later. Stick around.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.